My name is John Irvin. I am the Digital Transformation Director for Leverex, an SAP partner. And with me today is Mr. Teofil Sawicki. He is our Visual Enterprise Technical Lead.
Hello, everyone.
So we're going to start off with, what does a digital transformation and a digital twin mean? Using digitalization in one single source of the truth, we now have the ability to combine 3D and 2D data and link it to your business data. This is very powerful for any organization as it visually and easily presents both the original and supporting data to all permitted users. Visual data is easier to consume and enables better collaboration for far more effective decision-making by leveraging a lightweight digital twin. So what's a digital twin? A digital twin is a virtual model of a process, a product, and or service. In the case of today, the digital twin is going to be created from your CAD master data. This pairing of the virtual and physical worlds allows for the analysis of data, monitoring of systems to head off problems long before they occur. It can help prevent downtime, develop new opportunities, and even plan for the future by running simulations. It's the foundation for new technologies like the Internet of Things, machine learning, big data, and the Asset Information Network. So, SAP has 3 options for creating and storing synchronized digital twin data in ECC or HANA. Option number 1, Engineering Control Center Professional with a CAD integration. So this first option is an SAP product which has menus inside of the CAD program. So whether it's Siemens NX or PTC Creo or Dassault CATIA or Autodesk Inventor, there would be menus presented inside the CAD application which would allow you to release and store data inside of SAP. Now, the good thing about this is it allows you to store data in SAP, but it requires a human trigger. It requires human beings to actually interface with the CAD programs and Engineering Control Center. Option number 2, which is where we're going to focus most of our time today, Visual Enterprise Generator, another SAP product, via a hot folder. And I'll get into what a hot folder is in a little bit. But this allows for a single direction. It's a push from any PLM system. It can be Siemens Teamcenter, PTC Windchill, Dassault Novia, any PLM system, and it can automate the process of making lightweight digital twin files from your master CAD data fully synchronized with your release process and change control of your existing PLM system. And then the third option is what we call TDMI, Teamcenter and Windchill connectors. SAP has bidirectional connectors, which means you can take data from ECC or HANA and push it back into any PLM system, and vice versa. You can share these digital twins in the same manner or a similar manner to the hot folder with Visual Enterprise. So the data goes both ways. But today we're going to be focusing on option number 2, Visual Enterprise Generator via a hot folder. So let's talk a little bit more about what are the SAP Visual Enterprise suite of on-premise products. Of course, we know SAP has a wonderful cloud platform, and many of these tools are available in the cloud. But for today's discussion and demonstration, we are going to be 100% talking about on-premise products. So the first product is called SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Generator, and we think of that as a scriptable automation engine for CAD conversions, business data integrations, and storage of digital twins in SAP, ECC, or S/4HANA. The next tool or application is called SAP 3D Visual Enterprise Author. This is a desktop authoring product to create animations, renderings, and add other value-added content to our digital twin data. The third application I'd like to talk about is the SAP 3D Visual Manufacturing Planner. Visual Manufacturing Planner is a very powerful application. It allows us to take, say, an engineering BOM that gets read in from the Visual Enterprise Generator hot folder, and it allows us to easily create any other BOM, maybe transforming an engineering bill of materials to a manufacturing bill of materials or a service kit. It also helps us create material masters if we're missing any, routings, and it creates updated visual design streaming seed files and process engineering changes. SAP Visual Enterprise Viewer is our next application, and it is an interactive viewing component for desktops. It's embedded inside of ECC and HANA. It's inside of Engineering Control Center, and it runs on a mobile platform as well as in more modern-day web browsers. And then we have the Visual Interaction Toolkit for SAP UI5. And this is a programmable interactive viewing component for browser-based HTML5 applications. And this is a delivery mechanism, if we choose to use it, where we could take our digital twin files and then publish them out to our extended enterprise or our extended supply chain. And we can then share this data across the boards. And last but not least, we have SAP Engineering Control Center. And think of that as an integration platform for all of these authoring tools, which acts as a DMS gateway hub for easily viewing and creating SAP business objects. So in Engineering Control Center, we can easily create bills of materials, material masters, routings, links, etc. So let's talk a little bit more about what the Visual Enterprise Generator hot folder option really means. So the VEG hot folder option requires the following outputs: externalized CAD master data in a VEG supported format, and Visual Enterprise Generator reads and writes, I think it's 120 different formats. So odds are your CAD application is definitely included. And then the second thing we need is a Visual Enterprise Generator schema manifest XML file. And we think of this manifest XML file as a roadmap of the bill of materials that closely matches what's coming with the externalized CAD data from any PLM system. So if we take those two components, the externalized master CAD data and the VEG schema manifest XML file, which we provide logic or teach you how to create this in an automated fashion as well. And if you zip these two components together and then you copy them into what's called a VEG, Visual Enterprise Generator hot folder, what this does is it acts as a trigger which tells Visual Enterprise Generator to start the translation process and create the digital twin files, which is synchronized with your engineering changes in your PLM system. So when the VEG hot folder recognizes a zip file, like I said, it triggers what we call the Visual Data Integration Conversion process, which in ECC or HANA, it builds a matching DIR structure to what the BOM is. In ECC or HANA, it creates these synchronized digital twin files as document originals, and it creates matching material masters, matching material metadata tags, which is very important for the use of Visual Manufacturing Planner, and it links the DIR with the material master. All automated, no human beings required. So next, this is a high-level architecture diagram of all of the SAP Visual Enterprise suite of applications. If we start on the left and work our way to the right, we have any PLM system. Like I said, it can be Teamcenter, Anovia, Windchill, any of them. And we take and we drop that information into that hot folder, which is signified by this arrow right here. It acts as a trigger. It starts the conversion process. It builds that DIR structure inside of ECC or HANA. It puts those lightweight digital twin files. And when I say lightweight, as we know, CAD data is very, very heavy. And this Visual Enterprise Generator takes anywhere from 95 to 99% of the weight out of the CAD file in the synchronized digital twin file, which is very powerful. It allows us to view enormous amounts of master CAD data. And then if we keep going, once it's inside, the digital twins are stored inside ECC or HANA. Then we can use tools like Visual Manufacturing Planner to maybe make a new bill of materials or a routing. And then we can use Visual Enterprise Author to extend and make what we call visual work instructions. I'm going to show you one of those in a minute. And then we use Visual Enterprise Viewer and Engineering Control Center to actually consume and view this data. So what we're going to be demonstrating today is a simple 4-step process. So we're going to take your master CAD data in step 1, and it's going to be automatically loaded and tagged with the metadata. Materials are going to be automatically created. And this all happens upon a PLM release event via the VEG, Visual Enterprise Generator hot folder. In step 2, Phil's going to show us how Visual Manufacturing Planner can view, create, edit a BOM. And remember, a good example was an engineering bill of materials to a manufacturing bill of materials. And then we're going to create a routing. And for those of you who don't know, a routing simply tells us which components are consumed in which build operations when we assemble our components. And the really powerful thing is it doesn't matter which industry you're in, whether you're building planes, trains, automobiles, or maybe washers and dryers. It doesn't matter. Discrete manufacturing, aerospace and defense, automotive, shipbuilding, plant building. We can use Visual Manufacturing Planner and Visual Enterprise Generator to create all of this synchronized content. In step 3, we're going to then use Visual Enterprise Author to enhance the 3D seed file, which Visual Manufacturing Planner is going to create for us in step 2 based on the routing. And then this helps us create a finished visual work instruction for shop floor consumption. And this would be our step-by-step interactive animated work instructions. And like I promised, I'm going to show you one here. Got 1 or 2 more slides, and I've got one to show you. And then step 4, we're going to display this 3D visual work instruction on the shop floor using the Visual Enterprise Viewer. And there are many delivery mechanisms. SAP has 4 options for displaying the finished visual work instruction on the manufacturing shop floor. Option number 1, the HTML5 template with the embedded Visual Enterprise Viewer. And the reason that we like this option is because with HTML5, that is a newer web browser, say a more modern day Firefox or Chrome, and we can embed the Visual Enterprise Viewer inside of it, which means we never have to install anything. There's no footprint. There's no viewer installed. It's embedded inside of the web browser. So that's a neat option. And then, of course, we have SAP MES, which is an ERP system for the shop floor. And then we have SAP MII, again, an ERP, engineering resource planning system for the shop floor. And SAP's newest edition, Production Enterprise Operations, PEO, again, another ERP for displaying content on the shop floor. So I'm just going to put this up for a second. I understand that no one can ask questions because this is a pre-recorded demonstration today, but there is mine and Phil's email addresses. So if anyone, after they've watched this short video presentation, has any questions, I encourage you to please please reach out to us. So we're going to go into Visual Enterprise Viewer. And what I'm saying is all of the products that I talked about, Visual Enterprise Generator, Visual Enterprise Author, Visual Manufacturing Planner, all of them, Visual Enterprise Viewer, all of them that I previously talked about, they all work together to create what we call a visual work instruction. And these are very powerful on the shop floor. They're very powerful for training purposes. These are fully interactive. I can look at the procedures, and we'll get there in a minute. Here is my bill of materials for each and every assembly. And then here are my build operations, my steps. So an operator can play every one of these at their own pace, or they can be automated to play at whatever interval seconds you'd like them to play. And they tell us step by step, if I'm on the line and I have to assemble this fuselage, it's going to tell me step by step what I need to do. I'm just going, there are many build operations in this file, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what a visual work instruction is. And this is really the end goal of what we want to end up with. All right, so I'm going to now turn it over to Phil, and he is going to tell us a little bit more about how this data was created, and he's going to give us a demonstration of Visual Manufacturing Planner. Phil, please take it away. Sure.
Okay, and what I'm going to do is John has mentioned that we were going to concentrate on number 2, which was the conversion from the VEG generator from a hot folder, and how it actually has populated a DIR with the VDS file in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to just pull that file up for you. This is the DIR that it has created, and I'm just going to go ahead and just show you what the contents of the file are. Just give it a lit. Okay, there we go. Here's kind of the high level description of the file, what the object links are, and this is tied into this material, which is a top level material called 8029, and the actual original file that was generated, that was made from VE Generator. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and display this file for you in the SAP Visual Enterprise Viewer.
And while we're waiting for that to open, everyone, this is our digital twin file. It's synchronized with our master CAD data, and as engineering changes occur, we will know each and every engineering change, and it will stay synchronized with its master CAD data.
So here you go. You can see that the file is right there. Here's part of the, let me just kind of spin it around. This is pretty much the same file that John has showed you. So it got created and converted into that lightweight format that he was talking about. Let me go ahead and I'll show you all the components. If I just go ahead and expand it, you can see all the components, the tooling that's available there, and all the information that came over that's represented also with the material. So let me go ahead, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get out of this, and we're going to go ahead and launch this file into Visual Manufacturing Planner. So let me go ahead and put.
And what's that transaction, Phil, to launch Visual Manufacturing Planner?
It's VMP_maintain. And here it brings up the planning scope tool. And so right now, since I've already created one, you can do automatically search, or you can search on certain attributes. So if I know that as a certain material like 8029 that we just saw, I'll just go ahead, select it, and I'll say search. And it just gives me the planning scope that I've already for this tool that I've already created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start planning with this. So I select it, I hit start planning, and the Visual Manufacturing Planner is going to come up. Just give it a little bit, and okay. And here's the thing, as you can see, if you look right here on the source panel, you can see this is the same components that we just saw from the Visual Enterprise Viewer. that Johnny showed you before. And what this is if you look at this, is basically three main screens here. One is the source panel, and we like to refer to this as the E-BOM. This is your engineering BOM. We've got another panel called the working panel, is where you're going to do your work, where you're going to start actually making your creating your manufacturing BOM. And the target panel is actually the manufacturing BOM that's going to be there when you create it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start creating it. So what I do is if you look at this as a top level assembly, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on here, add to the working panel, and that's just moved up to the working panel. And then I'm going to start looking for materials that I'm going to create my or components that I'm going to get consumed in my manufacturing BOM. So let me go ahead, and what I'll do, let me just go ahead and bring a couple of components in there. Let's go 53 real quick dash, let's see, 105 772 dash 2004 underscore A. So if I enter that in the search, right, and I scroll down, what I do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to consume it. Where did I go? Oh, there it is. So it's highlighted the correct one that I just entered. So I'm going to take this, select it, and drag and drop it over here. And what I'll do is I'll also get maybe perhaps another one. Let me get, let's see here, 105 773 dash 2004. Let's see, underscore A. Select that. And also bring this over. Okay, so I've got these two components right now that I'm going to start consuming in my manufacturing BOM, which hasn't been created yet because I haven't sourced it down to my target panel yet. So the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and create the routing. So if I go up to here where it says create routing, I could say create a routing from scratch, or if I have a previously created routing, I can go ahead and load that routing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to search based by material, and I can also use on a task list type, which I'm going to do. And here's my routing that I previously created. And you can see right here, you can see all the different operations, operations 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All those. Now all I have to do is take the components that are going to be consumed at each operation. So what I can do is I just select this one component and bring it up to operation 10. And let me take another component and bring it up to operation 20. The operations, we got the components under specific operations of 10 and 20. Typically, we could do 30 and 40 and 50 with the rest of the components, but you need to go ahead and fill out everything else. There's all the components that you're going to consume for each operation added to your routing. So what I can do next is, what I'm going to go ahead is, I'm going to export this to a visual work instruction. Let me select it. And here's the document that the work instruction is going to be loaded to. I have to put in a storage category where this is going to get saved. And select it, link all operations. And then what I do is I select it. And now those visual seed files are getting copied to the routing as a PRT. And this is going to be a starting point for Visual Enterprise Author. That's completed. What I've done is I go ahead and I will just actually save the file. So now that we have the parts consumed at each operation. And in that operation, we have a seed file created for that operation, which is the visual work instruction. And this visual work instruction is going to be the point where the VEA author is going to come ahead and start finishing the work instruction for that particular component for that particular operation. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I will save off to the MBOM. And I'll save and I'll exit planning. And here's my message list that tells me that everything is okay. If you look, this is BOM for material, updated. And also the task list is created, which is the routing that's been completed. So now what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and I'll open up that DIR with the visual work instruction. And this is the DIR that it was just recently created. There we go. And I'll go to the Originals tab, and here's the VDS file. Let me go ahead and open that up. And here are the components that were consumed for that particular routing. You can see that I've got two components right here. Let me go ahead to the Visual Works file. And there's our two components that are on the router that are being consumed. Now the Visual Enterprise author, they can use this as a starting point for the operation and start creating their work instructions.
And in Visual Enterprise Author, that is where we would then take the seed file, as we call it, which Phil just created using Visual Manufacturing Planner, and it is a wonderful starting point for creating the rest of our build animations. What Visual Manufacturing Planner did do for us, though, is it got all the right components grouped underneath the correct build operations, or as called in Visual Enterprise Author, steps. A step equals a build operation. And all the parts that are consumed in each step or build operation are grouped appropriately for us. And that is a huge time saver for someone that wants to come in and then, you know, add some notes, some call outs, some tools, and maybe some build animations. A fully automated end-to-end the Visual Enterprise suite of apps with an automated hot folder. As you can see, it is very powerful. And we hope you've enjoyed today's presentation. And if you have any questions, please refer to the questions and answer slide where my and Teofil's email addresses are provided, and we encourage you to reach out to us. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.